to Tea Talk. My name is Ernie Champagne.
And my name is Bria Simons.
And we're part of Tea Talk on the Glass House Radio, part of Howard University Radio Network. How are you today, Bria?
I'm good. I'm tired, just kind of getting back into the swing of things. It was a long weekend for me. So, But the main topic that we're going to talk about today is women's health. So that is kind of really big, especially with, it's the month of heart disease and everything. So that's a little bit of what we're going to talk about on today's show.
Yeah, so going back about our weekends and stuff, this past Sunday was the Oscars. And, worst dress, best dress. People were saying they didn't like Lupita's dress, and I personally didn't like her dress either. It was like basically all pearls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I think 6,000
very
pearls
vintagey.
Made her dress, and it looked like it was like heavy. Like I think that's why I didn't like it. It just looked like
it was heavy on her.
It was heavy, yeah. Like it wasn't just like a dress with pearls on it. It looked like It was like a dress made out of pearls, like purely pure pearls, and it looked like it was just heavy. So for some people, she made the best dress list. Some people, she made the worst dress list. Another person that made the worst dress list, but I didn't think it was bad, was Scarlett Johansson. She had like this green dress and like this green necklace. But a lot of people didn't like the green necklace.
The green on green.
Yeah, it looks like a choker. People didn't even like the green, period. Mm-hmm. But I noticed a lot of people wearing like this champagne beige.
Yeah, that's the color that's in now. A lot of nudes, a lot of golds, a lot of skin tone colors. I know Jennifer Lopez had a beautiful dress. Her dress was very beautiful. It was very like champagne-y, as a big bottom. And so like that's what's in now.
Yeah, she wore that color. Oprah wore that color. Zoe Saldana wore that color. Kerry Washington wore that color. Viola Davis wore that color. A lot of people really.
That's what's in, yeah. And for the males, it's the all black on black suit or the really fitted suit. And so it's kind of like. Everything is kind of very monotone. Everything is very like nude and to the point. So, but another big thing is Selma Glory, the song written and performed by Common and John Legend, won an Oscar, and that is beautiful because that song is such a beautiful song.
Yeah, I'm glad it won an Oscar. I didn't really watch the Oscars, so I don't know. I don't think Selma actually won awards as far as the movie or whatever, but the song was a good song. They performed it. People were crying in the audience after the performance. And it just shows you that the song is a powerful song and deserved the award. And also, speaking of the awards, Zendaya also wore that beige nude that we're talking about. And she wore faux locks. A trend that's kind of in right now. Mm-hmm. So on Fashion Police the following day, Juliana Rancic, as she always would, she's part of the Fashion Police, commented on everybody's attire, and she said that Zendaya looked like she smelled like weed or petroleum oil. I'm guessing she said that because of the braids, and clearly, why else would she? Not the braids, the locks, the full locks.
Right.
And Zendaya responded in like it was a really long response, but she responded in like a classy way, basically saying that there's people out there that's brilliant that have locks. NDRE has locks. The woman that directed Selma has locks. Like, does that mean they smell like weed? Mm-hmm. Like, she went to say her father and her brother have locks. And that wasn't even her real hair.
Right, I think it's just kind of like the stigma, like the stereotype when people think of faux locks, they think of either, or dreadlocks in general, they think of Rastafarian or someone who is, very into like marijuana, but that's not the case. Like, it's a protective hairstyle that a lot of girls, and it's a trend that a lot of girls are setting today. And we got to remember that Zendaya, she's
young.
She's young, yes, but she's also a role model to a lot of girls, and this is what a lot of girls are looking at. And she looks like the girl next door, and that's what she's marketed as. So to have her, like, she can also be very high fashion, and she can also be, very chill. I personally like the faux locks with the dress. I think it was different.
Didn't like the faux locks with the dress. Not because it was faux locks. I just think that the hairstyle was too dressed down for the Oscars and for the dress. Now, if the faux locks is probably in a bun, maybe I would have thought.
Or in the design, like a lock.
Yeah, like maybe like styled a certain type of way. Mm-hmm. Maybe I would have liked it better, but they were too thick and too like, I feel like it didn't match the whole look. Now I wouldn't go around and say, oh, she looked like she smoked weed. How does someone look like they smell like weed when the person doesn't even look high or under the influence? Like, that was very offensive and an ignorant comment.
So do you think it was a race issue?
I don't know if it was a race issue. I just know it was inappropriate because if somebody else, honestly, I watched Fashion Police before and I've seen Juliana Rancic and I don't think she's racist. I do think it was an ignorant comment. I don't think she's a racist. I feel like if a white person had done the faux locks, she might have said the same thing, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think other people thought like that might have been racist because I believe Kylie Jenner had faux locks and E was like, oh, it's trendy, it's cute, whatever.
Right.
They complimented her on it. But that wasn't a Juliana Rancic comment, but it did come from E.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like, I don't know. But I do think that if, like, I don't know, if Ariana Grande was to come out with faux locks, I think she would have said the same thing. I think it's still an ignorant comment. And I feel like if it had come from somebody else, maybe it would have been about race. But I feel like she should have thought about that because whether it's about race or not, it's still offensive. Like, it doesn't even make sense how you can say someone smells like weed.
By looking at them.
By looking at them. How do you say someone smells like weed when they don't even look high? Like,
yeah, I think that was the biggest thing, basically, that she smelled like weed even though you weren't standing next to her on the red carpet. You just look at the hair that she has and was on her head, and then you think that she smells like weed. I think that can translate as kind of like a racial stigma.
Yeah, I think it could translate as
and you can do that without being racist.
Yeah, like, I think, like, I agree with you. It could come off as a race thing. I don't think Juliana is racist as a person, but I do think that was a racist thing and an offensive thing to say.
Right.
And I do think, are you saying that the woman that directed Ava, the woman that directed Selma, does she smell like me too? Like, there's so many other people that have dreads too. They all look like, she said she looked like she smelled like weed.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't say she smelled like it, she said she looked like it. Basically because she had drugs.
Which is an ignorant statement.
Yeah, that it still doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make it any
And she apologized for it. She, like, after Zendaya, wrote her response, she apologized and said that she didn't mean to offend Zendaya or anybody else that has dreads or anything like that. She shouldn't have said it, and this, that. And I was kind of, like, over. But it's like, you came for a little kid. She's not a little kid, but you just... Well, why? Like, it's just uncalled for, basically.
Right. But moving forward into the music industry, Drake dropped his surprise project, and it is doing very, very well. Honestly, I can say that among, like, my friends, I have heard that album at least 16 times. Like, yeah, and honestly, I've heard that album so much, and it reminds me kind of the response that it got kind of reminds me of the Beyonce album, because that album... The Beyonce album has been played since it dropped. Like, I remember the first week that it dropped. I've heard that album straight through maybe about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. The Drake album, I feel like it's the same thing. And I feel like people were waiting for music to drop. People love new music. So especially for a big artist like Drake, I think that his album is doing, I don't want to say surprisingly well, but it's doing very, very well. Like, it's been out for what, like a week, 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, he's not even calling it an album. I think it's good, but I don't think it's Drake's best. And I don't even think his fans think it's Drake's best. Mm-hmm. But I guess they all know that he released a project because it's too long to call it an EP. It's not a mixtape because it's being sold. But he's not calling it an album. Right. It doesn't even have a real cover. Like, it doesn't even have, like, you know what I mean? He didn't really promote it. I mean, it's still doing well, like you said. It still has good songs in it, but I feel like those songs are like the songs that didn't make the album type stuff.
Okay,
like, and I feel like he's choosing for his album, and I feel like those are the songs that didn't make the album, but they're still like decent songs.
But I mean, he's done that before, where like certain songs get leaked and then he just puts it out on iTunes, or certain songs don't make the album and he still wants his fans to be hungry for the music, so he puts it out. He puts it out on YouTube. He puts it out on different things. So, like, I think just the way that music is changing nowadays, like, you don't have to wait on your contract to release music. And I think, like, you really just don't have to, unless, like...
It depends on your contract and the type of artist you are.
No,
because there's people that have been signed and they can't. Like, they'll, like, drop music, but they can't legally drop it on iTunes. Like,
no, that's not what I mean. Like, not to drop it on iTunes, but they could drop music on YouTube, drop music other places, and just to kind of get the conversation going.
Like, some people do it. They're not supposed to, and then the label gets mad. They can. Like, I know people that they do that on SoundCloud or whatever, or Spotify. You're not, like, I mean, music gets leaked all the time. So, if they leaked it out or somebody else leaked it out for them, either way, if an artist wants to have their music be heard, like you just said, there's a way to get it out there for it to be heard.
Right. And so do you think this has anything to do with his contract, why he's not calling it an album?
I mean, some people, I don't know if he came out and said it himself, but he's just trying to, he already said that he wanted to leave Young Money, Cash Money a while ago. There's nothing new. So if you're obligated to release a certain amount of projects, like, why not, you know, just
do it and get it over
do it and get over it. Even though he just, when did Nothing Was the Same come out?
Honestly, it wasn't that long ago. It was what, last year?
I feel like it was last year.
Yeah, last year.
Because it was freshman year. I feel like it was last year. Nothing Was the Same. Yeah, it came out last year. And I think his real album's coming out in the summer or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, probably one more after that.
But Drake's a good artist, though. Do you consider him as a rapper or, like, borderline, like, hip-hop and R&B? Because he does sing on a lot of his tracks.
I still consider what he does hip-hop. I don't think it's R&B. It's R&B-ish. Because he does sing on a lot of stuff. But, like, with the beat, it's not an R&B beat. It's just him, the way he's singing it, the way the hook is. Because J. Cole does that sometimes, too. Does that mean J. Cole? You know what I mean? J. Cole sings some of his hooks. But it's still rap in it.
The majority of his songs are rap, though.
Right. But, like, even with... I mean, I don't think too many of Drake's songs are just...
The BET Honors is a beautiful occasion, and Felicia Rashad was honored among others such as Kanye West and Usher.
Kanye West.
Felicia Rashad.
This woman named Janetta, I forget her name. She was the president of Spelman College and Bennett College. This is what I learned. The only two historically black colleges that's only for girls. And this other man, I forgot his name too, but he's like a really businessman in technology and stuff like that. He's really smart. Probably really, really, really rich.
Yeah, but...
And him. And, yeah.
For those of you guys who didn't know, Felicia Rashad is an alum of Howard University, the illustrious Howard University. And so just to see her compose herself with such elegance and poise, it was beautiful to see her on stage.
I thought it was, like, I just love Felicia Rashad. I call her my grandmother because it was just amazing. She accepted the speech beautifully. And one thing she said, like, literally at the end of her speech, she was like, legacy is an important thing. We must preserve that. Then she did this little, like, look in the camera, like you heard me. So I felt like that was, like, a subliminal message for Bill Cosby. But I'm not gonna say much though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like because at first when you think about it, you think she's talking about like the younger generation. But when she like looked at the camera, we were like, nah, that was for Bill. Like it was just really like she was just really classy, poised. You know, it was really I just love her. I just love her so much.
Yeah.
She likes how she wants to inspire young generation. She's already doing that. Like it's just nice to see her, but you know, we talked about Glory winning an Oscar. We talked about Zendaya and the Juliana Rancic drama.
And basically Drake also leaving Young Money and dropping new music. So stay tuned. This is Bria Simons.
I'm Erin A. Champagne.
And you are listening to Tea Talk on Glass House Radio, part of the Howard University Radio Network.